Okay, so I decided to start the stream about 45 minutes early because this pollen season has been absolutely terrible. So before we get started, there's a few updates that I'd like to share with you, pun intended. First, you notice these game card icons? Um, these are virtual game cards for the Nintendo Switch too. For the Nintendo Switch, it was just introduced in a new software update. Now I'll go into more detail about how this new thing will play. Will play it. Will tie into like the storage crisis that the Switch 2 is facing, that the Switch 2 will face. But for now we are looking at like virtual game cards. You can load them, unload them. I'll probably choose to unload. There's one game I want to unload. I'll unload Fatal Bullet. So this is what it looks like. You unloaded it, but I don't have a Switch 2 yet. Although for some miracle I got one from a pre-order from Walmart. Now let's play No, today's game is Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Now we're gonna start. Now this, I do have a physical game card that my mom bought from Taiwan on her way back to the States, but I won't be keeping it because
Here we go.
I actually have yeah yeah I think there's some interference with my okay. I'll reset the game capture. Because there's a little bit of lag. So today we're going to talk about um the microSD Express cards. So this is a news release from last year. Samsung's new microSD cards bring high performance and capacity for the new era in mobile computing on-device AI. So they sampled the industry first 256 SD microSD Express card, boasting speeds more than 4 times faster than current interface. So Samsung Electronics had announced that they start sampling its 256 gigabyte SD Express microSD card slot, which with read speeds of up to 800 megabytes per second. So, when we go down here, for the first time in the industry, they made this, and this development was the result of a successful collaboration with a customer, which ended up being Nintendo under NDA, to create a custom product. So it says that it's going to be 800 megabytes per second, which is faster than SATA SSDs and 4 times faster compared to UHS-1. There's also thermal guards and all that stuff. Okay, 256 will be made for purchase later this year. No, it's out of stock, sadly. But we're going to get into more of the nitty gritty later. Plus, we can only read like 100 of these comments because we're pressed on time, both on a lot of fronts. Not just the fact that I have to study for finals, but also the fact that I'm running out of recording time on my SSD. So today I'm using the Warrior controller, which is basically a GameCube controller, but I updated it, so, I think I'm going to do 6, or, no, we're going to do 4, because we will be looking at online marketplaces later, today. Okay, yeah, regarding that thumbnail and the short I did the other day, yes, I am very disappointed in the election results in Canada, because, honestly, it's just, if you have read the book Values by the current Prime Minister of Canada, Mark Carney, It shows that what he's going to do to Canada, which is a country that I want to visit. And as a form of protest against the against Mark Carney, I have deleted this channel's very first YouTube video, which is basically a PowerPoint slideshow timed to oh, Canada or something, because some words in the anthem are not true anymore, especially with Carney's attack on religious freedom in Canada. Alright, we are yeah, and then he's pushing EV mandates and a lot of and he's pushing so much stuff that's really concerning. So, especially during his victory speech, he literally took something out of Mao Zedong's playbook. I even did that on my I even made a comparison using sources from CPAC and regrettably Mao Ning. I don't like Mao Ning, but she did at least present crucial evidence for me to use against Mark Carney. Now I wish I could explain more about Mark Carney, but today's stream is mostly about it's about the storage crisis on the Switch 2. Because there's only 256 gigabytes of built-in storage on the Switch 2. And we also have the troubling development with the game key cards, which means that you don't own the game, but you have to, like, but you have to, like, what is it? Load the game. It's not real physical gaming anymore. It's just a facade. So here's the 5-channel. So put about 1 terabyte. Why is the cost increasing? And they say it's nowhere near as good as the PS5, and it's just key cards. There are adults who don't understand that. If that were too expensive, super expensive ones. So well, here's the thing. Here is Lexar's 1 terabyte micro SD card Express card. The world's first 1 terabyte micro SD Express card. It is $71.99, but it will be available in 3 to 4 weeks. And it's not enough storage, honestly. So Lexar's 1 step ahead, so so let's continue reading some stuff. We'll read up to 25. Isn't that more expensive than PS5? The dock, SSDs. Now, SSDs do not fit and they have thermal issues. So that's why they wanted to, like, make them... It's the same... They don't know the difference between Express SD cards and regular SD cards. And to prove my point, I'm going to load a screenshot from explainingcomputers.com's, like, what is it? explainingcomputer.com's recent SD card video. So, refrain from buying it, think about the system, what's more, I don't know. There are people who don't need to buy it, so it's not the same. UFS 3.1. No, people are getting really a key card, you have to download it, and there's the original PS5 had 825 gigabytes of storage, but we all knew that only 666 gigabytes were available all along. Backlog games, dozens of gigabytes, 512 compatibility. There's not much left. Download versions, 1 software. That's 3 titles. PS5 users. Okay, reach 25. So, per explainingcomputers.com's video, let me just shrink this so I don't get copyright claimed or copyright strikes. You can see right here that that you need to use at least SD Express speed class. So for example, it has to be above 150 megabytes per second or better. If the rate speed if you want to use it with Switch 2. But it's recommended to use 600 or something. These are the speed classes. And this came out before the Switch 2 was announced, so, this video was uploaded. I'll link it in the description or with a card later, so, without further ado, let's continue. And I'm a little bit loud, so I guess gotta, lower my own volume. And that's 64 Rainbow Road. Yeah, we already went over every tab that I need to go over this stream, but not every comment. Plus, there's like 660 comments or something on the 5-channel source, so that's gonna be pretty problematic if I want to read the whole thing. Because I'm short on time. I'll only read 25 comments after each race. But why are more people alarmed about the game key card trend? It's not real ownership. It's literally you own nothing and you will be happy. Plus, Nintendo already did that with the Switch 1. It's just really sad how, like, game ownership's becoming a thing of the past, thanks to digital storefronts, DRM, and all that stuff. It's unbelievable. Something else that's unbelievable is that, I had a Black April, last month, because just so many things were stressing me out. The Switch 2 was supposed to be a ray of hope, but then the tariffs dropped, and, on top of that, you also had, you had the unrest, the drop the price mobilization, and all that. Oh, let me change the sound to effects only. Read the next few comments. If you have a PC or PS5, I'm sure you have PC or PS5. You're going to use a Nintendo machine. 256 is enough. Is it okay to not play the? And then they would say, are you ignoring kids who only have a Switch 2 and casual gamers? Now I have to address something. That has been really bothering me. Just wait a moment. You know, I had to unsubscribe from a lot of channels because of the fact that people are just being extremely ignorant about the reality of the Switch 2. So here is a infographic about the Switch 2 lottery system in Japan. I won't name names, but okay, so on the left you have the Switch 2 Japan only model and console only. And they said is the most economic. Oh no, that's the Mario Kart World bundle. They said it's the most economical. Now the cheapest one is you just get the console itself, and to win the easiest one to win is the multilingual one, but it costs more because of the dollar-yen exchange rate when they decide the prices for the Switch 2. I mean, really? You're thinking about short-term like gains for long-term pain? It should be the other way around. You should pay more for the multilingual model and for Mario Kart World than pay for the Japan-only bundles. Because in Japan the Switch 2 is region locked, and in America it's not. So let's continue. 1 terabyte would cost, but they said 10,000 yen, not possible. Organized storage, what error was 256. Let me see. I remember iPads only had like 128 gigabytes, so there's that. Cost almost 250. Not free storage space. Sometimes it's supposed to be able to connect to a hard drive. That didn't happen because it's a It was a hybrid console. And all third parties, crappy keycard specification. Yes, because keycards are Trojan horse for digital quote-unquote ownership. VMUs, memory cards with large capacities for the PS2. You know what? There is it's different because now PS2 memory cards can come in the form of like SD card based memory cards that can store multiple virtual memory cards. I have one of them plugged into my PS2 right now. And a 1TB SD for Switch Express card for Switch 2. They say wonder how much load times will be for. Well, because you have to load textures and all that stuff. That's why Samsung and SanDisk, Nintendo, and Lexar work together. So, Nintendo fans are people who don't usually play games. Street Fighter 6, 56 is not enough. Downloads will increase. Likely to increase cost. PS5 was 660 gigabytes. No, I think Sony literally worshipped the devil with the free storage on the original PS5 models. It was 666 gigabytes, and yeah, no choice but to spend money and buy the SD. Storage and price of your SD card. Oh, and not just that, but there are people who are talking about Samsung phones on the Japanese tech media. Yet they can't use Samsung SD cards on their own phones. That's why I still carry around the S9 Plus, so I can listen to my music collection or something. 830 megabytes, and I'm not sure what's online games installed. No. Okay, we read 25 comments, so we're gonna move on to the next race. Even more concerning is that there was a proposal to like give out 50,000 yen to Japanese families. There's a one-time subsidy of 50,000 yen instead of a consumption tax cut or abolition or something, or and you know what those brain dead sorry, I shouldn't be using that word. What those gaming media YouTubers say? I'm not one of those, but a lot of those that specialize in gaming news. I'm more of a jack of all trades YouTuber, but they said, "Thank you, Japanese government." It's like, I don't know, like, why are you praising the government for a tax subsidy? That's exactly what happened when one-time tax subsidies are not a good thing, honestly. One-time subsidies are not a good thing because it won't save you in the long term. Yeah, people keep saying thank you, Japanese government, for giving enough money to buy the Japan-only model of the Switch 2. They won't really use it to pay bills or something. And then there are people flexing their lottery wins on like Japanese social media, whether it's Instagram, X, or YouTube. It's just so nauseating, honestly. Like, why? What else do I have to cover? Yeah, I had to unsubscribe from way too many channels. I had to use the do not recommend button far too many times last month. It's because people have lost their humanity over a damn console. That being said, I still secured a pre-order for the Switch 2 through Walmart because, but I'm not sure if they're going to keep it or cancel it, honestly, since on May 8th, I'll probably get an email from Nintendo saying, "Oh, it's time to buy a Switch 2," but I really want release date deliveries, so, well, not in the traditional sense, but, let's see if we get Ska. Oh, my God. That was really bad, honestly. How the hell did I got caught in my own explosion. My god. This is why I hate this course. And I hate anyone who tries to send me postal mail because back in 2003 there was a huge blackout in the Northeast US and people sent postal mail as the last resort for communications. But what I experienced almost 2 years ago, I almost fucking died from postal mail, okay? I know who you are. I can put a restraining order on you. Okay, so, continuing on with the Switch 2. Okay. Increased capacity, costs will rise. No, the Americans are gonna face rising costs, not you. Storage is, that's smaller than a smartphone. Well, most smartphones baseline have 256 gigabytes, so only be 5 gigs on the Switch 2 now. Free update price is also cheaper than a smartphone. I'll increase it with an update. You can't do that. And capacity increase and price goes up. People will complain. Nintendo goes crazy. No one will buy. I don't know. 265. I don't know. 10,000. Yeah, price will be close to that to the PS5. I mean, it always costs as much as the multilingual model costs just as much as a PS5, but honestly, people are just gonna buy the Japanese only model in Japan because I know how the economy is now. They just want to score that pre-order or something. These tablet devices, I'm not gonna choose a PS5. Yeah, because Sony is a satanic company that worships woke shit ideology. So, iPhones and mirror to Switch 2 to compromise external storage. No, I want internal storage. That's why I carry my S9 Plus to listen to music. Doing the software, the service will be terminating. I won't be able to re-download it. People should take notes about this because, because if those servers go down and you own games on there, then Nintendo's giving you the middle finger or something. But the real problem is the key card that forces downloads. Okay, we read the comments already. 25 comments. So let's move on. Okay, Roma Vanti. Hopefully the outcome of this race is better than the previous one. The last race was horrible. And no one's even talking about the negotiations in Vietnam because, I mean, negotiations between Vietnam and the US, which I covered in the hidden stream because, quite frankly, the silent winner of this entire Switch 2 drama is Vietnam, because they were the first countries, one of the first countries to negotiate with the US, and the Game Pass is like, oh, we didn't see that. Bullshit. That means their media literacy is bullshit, honestly. Yeah, I think this heat's making me devolve into anger or something. This heat, this pollen season. Oh, wow. Now I'm falling behind because I went the wrong way. I think there's a... I think a Madrid course had a quieter section, but... Oh. I need to focus, honestly. I'm having trouble going around because of, And next time, gotta be careful with the ball bombs because I actually got by a ball bomb, my own one too. How much space will I reclaim? Alright, we lost a lot of points. We lost like 7 points compared to compared to usual. Let's read the last 25 comments and then call the stream. Okay, so the Wii version can still be re-downloaded. Switch for tentative software downloads are longer lasting. Also, removed from the doctor in gameplay. About 3 years. Switch to OLED. 1 terabyte will be 59,000 yen. Gamers, complete games, delete. 512. I want to increase the capacity. Standard doesn't even allow for 512, let alone 1 terabyte. Well, this smartphones barely had 1 terabyte built in. Well, here's the thing. If Lexar can makes like 1 terabyte SD Express cards that are compatible with Switch 2, and they're sold out, then you're not looking far enough. So PS5 has a lot of storage, always out of range, and you can't make full use of it. DLC, internal storage, 1 terabyte is already out. It's almost a dying standard, but now Nintendo revived it. Yeah. What's a game console? Or even smartphones that cost hundreds of thousands of yen only have capacity of 256 to 512. Because they want you on cloud storage. They don't want you owning your data. They want you to own nothing and you're happy. And I'm SATA, but nah, too much heat. 1 terabyte for your smartphone. No, I need 1 terabyte for my smartphone. I listen to music all the time, yet Samsung got the headphone jack, the SD card slot, and now they put in those AI features with no transparency. There's 2 internal storage is UFS 3.1. Wrong! Oh, hold on, wrong picture for me. Explain computers. It's not using UFS 3. UHS or UFS. It's using PCIe. So, for them to say that is just tone deaf. Loan time game card and downloadable version. How much is Cyberpunk's 2077? Oh god, that game. It came out at the worst fucking time, honestly, because GPUs were impossible to find unless you paid like several $100,000 or something. And then there's 256. Yeah, Nintendo software. And 1 terabyte. That's it. That's it for today's stream. So, what was the moral of the story? The game keycard thing is a huge mistake. And, Nintendo and flash manufacturers, aside from Lexar, are not making SD cards that are compatible with Switch 2 and are large enough to hold an increasing larger games or something. So, yeah. This will probably be my last stream before I go abroad, and it may or may not be hidden depending on certain factors I'm not to disclose. So, there you have it.